now in this third apparition in July. In this third apparition is revealed the whole secret of Fatima, which we are going to go through now. I want you to come here on the 13th of next month, said Our Lady, to continue pray the Rosary every day in honor of Our Lady of the Rosary, in order to obtain peace for the world and the end of the war, because only she can help you. So it is only Our Lady of the Rosary that can help in the peace of the world, in this time which was raging the First World War. Then comes this questions to ask for the cure, but one thing that Lucy asked already in July is for a miracle, so that everyone will believe that she's appearing to them. She was suffering so much, poor thing. Especially the unbelief of her own mother. We had almost prohibited her to come here to the COVID area on the 13th. Continue to come here every month. In October, I will tell you who I am and what I want. I will perform a miracle for all to see and believe. And then she continued, sacrifice yourselves for sinners, and say many times, especially whenever you make some sacrifice, "O Jesus, it is for the love of you, for the conversion of sinners, and in reparation for the sins committed against the Immaculate Heart of Mary." So it would be good that we all learn by heart this prayer. Why? Because it's whenever in our life something happens we don't like, that makes us suffer, or some will lose our patience, instead of saying a bad word or losing our temper, we say, "Oh Jesus, it is for the love of you, for the conversion of sinners, and in reparation for the sins committed against the Immaculate Heart of Mary." What a perfect prayer. Then all our suffering, whatever happens, is a prayer that goes to heaven and is saving someone in the world. As Our Lady spoke these words now, she opened her hands once more, like she had done in the apparition of May and June. But what happens now is these rays of light do not go around the children. They penetrate the earth right in front of what is now the little chapel of the apparitions. And what did they see? They see the horrible vision of hell. Lucy describes it in her memoirs. It was so terrible and frightening that Lucia says, if it wasn't the grace of God, we would have died right at that moment. When seeing those devils and the souls falling into hell, into that abyss, the flames, it was absolutely terrible. So after the vision of hell, Our Lady said kindly, "You have seen hell, where the souls of poor sinners go. To save them, God wishes to establish in the world devotion to my Immaculate Heart. If what I say to you is done, many souls will be saved and there will be peace. The war is going to end. But if people do not cease offending God, a worse war will come. And there will be much greater suffering. The war is going to end, but if people do not cease offending God, a worse one will break out during the pontificate of Pius XI, so which was, as we know, the terrible World War II. To prevent this, I shall come to ask for the consecration of Russia to my Immaculate Heart, and the communion of reparation on the first Saturdays. If my requests are heeded, Russia will be converted and there will be peace. If not, she will spread her errors throughout the world, causing wars and persecution of the Church. The good will be martyred, and the Holy Father will have much to suffer. Various nations will be annihilated. In the end, my Immaculate Heart will triumph. So this is the important thing, the most of all, is that at the end, the triumph of Mary, of her Immaculate Heart, no matter what will be happening in the world in the future. And there is still one thing here which has not yet been fulfilled, which is the annihilation of various nations. The annihilation is a total disappearance. So this will be apocalyptic cataclysm, great cataclysms or great Holocaust that will come in the world in the future. We don't know when, God knows. But we have to be prepared. But one thing we know is the promise of Our Lady that she will triumph. But for that, we will have to work on that. We have to pray the rosary every day. We have to be faithful to our message and keep telling everyone around us to keep praying and offering up and be faithful so as to mitigate whatever great chastisement is coming on mankind. It was also on this apparition of July when Our Lady taught that little small ejaculatory which we have to say after the Glory Be in each decade. O my Jesus, forgive us, save us from the fires of hell, lead all souls to heaven, especially those who are most in need. Now, so the secret of Fatima is divided in three parts. The first part, the punishment of God for our sins. In this world, war, hunger, religious persecution, the error spread by Russia throughout the world, the annihilation of various nations, in next life hell. So this is all the terrible things. Now, to avoid and prevent all of this, the means to avoid this is devotion to the Immaculate Heart of Mary. With the daily rosary, with the consecration to Mary, the devotion of the 5 first Saturdays. And the third part, which was only revealed right here behind me in the altar, the main altar of the Fatima Sanctuary, on the year 2013 May, when John Paul II came here to beatify Jacinta and Francisco. Cardinal Soldano, the Secretary of State, read to the whole world the third part of the secret, which has to do with all the martyrs, first the Holy Father, these priests, and all the thousands of Christians being martyred. And is this blood of martyrs, as it was seen in that vision, that is going to convert millions and millions. There were angels seen there with chalices recovering the blood of martyrs. Now, the fourth apparition did not occur here in the Cova de Iria. Why? Because, as we explained now, we're going to go there now, the very place in Algiers, in Valinhos. The mayor kidnapped and took the children to Orem. But one thing happened really here, which is important to see the faithfulness of Our Lady. She had said she would come here. So, in fact, she was. And the witnesses we have, one is my own grandmother, Martha. The other is the mother of Father José dos Santos Valinho, a Salesian priest, was nephew of Sister Lucia, and he always recounts this, that his own mother decided that day, which was her birthday, to come on the 13th of August to the Cova de Iria to see what was happening. And at noontime, people saw the branches of the olm oak tree wavering like if someone was standing there. Second, there was a heavenly perfume out of this world that everyone sensed it. A fragrance from heaven. And third, a noise like humbees, like there was lots of bees around. There were no bees at that moment. So people got aware that something extraordinary was happening right there on that olm oak tree, but they were looking around, where are the children? They didn't know, but they come to know later or next day that they had been taken away by the mayor. But now we are going to explain you on the very place what happened on that day. But this means one thing: Our Lady did not miss a rendezvous, or appointment. She was here, but the children